Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another episode of Ask-Gufish. You guys had some questions. I'm gonna answer them. It's a super novel concept. No other YouTuber has ever done this before. It's very groundbreaking stuff. And I pull all the questions from Discord first. So if you've got a question for a future episode, make sure you join the community over there. Plus, it's just a good time talking about guitar gear and other random stuff. Link will be in the description. With that, hit the like button. That actually really helps out and gives me some much needed energy. Raising a newborn is hard, and let's jump into your questions. Have you seen the new Solar? 29-inch baritone, and it's classy as fuck. Alright, let's go. Starting off big. Pun intended. Yeah, but I mean, it's not a Solar single cut, now is it? That's really the only issue I can see with it. Let's talk about it. So, Solar is one of my favorite companies to follow in the guitar industry. The way they interact with the community, the way they respond to feedback by consistently releasing new models on seemingly a monthly basis. It's a lot of fun to try and keep up with them. There's always something new and exciting. All of their guitars are very metal. There's consistent features all across the lineup, and they still find a way to always keep it fresh, right? Like, you go to the website right now, and the first two rows, it's all new stuff. It's like that every time. They've got their first fan fret models, new Cannibalisimo Plus models, whatever those are. The one that's been causing a lot of buzz though this week is the A1.6 FBB-29. Careful, they're starting to come for Ibanez's crown of Wi-Fi password names. But something that's cool about Solar guitars is that they're very consistent spec-wise. Same super jumbo frets, same 14-inch fingerboard radius, same thin C neck profile, same ultra comfortable set-through neck joint, right? So I know the neck and general feel of every other Solar is going to be very similar to my Solar single cut, without ever having played any of the other shapes. You also know the 1 tier has more premium specs than the 2 tier, the stainless steel frets, the lumen lays, the locking tuners, which brings us back to the aforementioned A1.6 FBB-29. It's everything a Solar is, with a 29-inch scale length. That's fucking nuts. And holy shit, I love it. You can even see on the pictures how far apart the frets are, how far apart the pickups are. This is a long-ass guitar. Solar's done 27-inch baritones before, but this is insane. What tuning does this even ship in? Double drop E? I don't know. And I love that it's got an Evertune too. I think this is the longest scale production guitar with an Evertune. It's gotta be, right? So with strings that cover such a mammoth distance, I'd usually be worried about potential pitch drift or intonation issues. That's just not gonna be a thing here. It's not quite as long as the borderline short scale basses masquerading as guitars those 30-inch Squier baritone Jazzmasters are, but it's pretty close. You will be able to get some stupidly low tunings with this. And it's been interesting to see the rise of baritones, specifically the last 2 years. They're kind of eating into the extended range market, and when you play one, it's easy to see why. Modern metal is getting heavier and heavier. Everyone's tuning lower and lower and lower again, and breakdowns are replacing solos. And so the feel of a normal guitar on those higher shreddy frets aren't as big a priority. And with a baritone guitar, you've got something that can go super low without that wide-ass 7 or 8 string neck. As a predominantly 6-string player, I find them much easier to play than a 7-string or an 8-string. They also sound really cool, not just for metal. Gretsch has a 30-inch baritone with a Bigsby. Not exactly a super metal combo. And it's interesting, baritone is a pretty niche market, and for how small the community is, there is essentially no consensus on how long a baritone should be. Regular scale guitars, there's a general range of 0.75 of an inch, 24 3/4 to 25.5 inches. But baritone, man, I put up a community poll, best scale length for a baritone. I didn't even include 29 inches because I haven't seen any others besides this recent Solar with that spec. The general response from you guys, 80% say a baritone is best when it's at least a 27-inch scale length, but there's no definitive majority preference, which makes it very difficult to choose a baritone scale length that makes everyone happy. 16% also voted potatoes, so make of that data as you will. The last option with 7%, Mark Tremonti had a baritone that had a 25.5-inch scale length compared to his normal 25-inch scale length signature. Technically, a baritone is just a longer than normal scale guitar with a lower range of notes, so he is right, but still, 25.5-inch baritone? Not really. Anyways, this Solar looks like an absolute monster of a guitar. Inclusion of an Evertune on a 29-inch scale length model is very smart. I mean, the thing just looks stupid fun. Double drop E or double drop F with no pitch drift? Yes, f***ing please. But yeah, just some of my thoughts and musings on baritones in general. What are your thoughts on baritones? Have you played one? What did you think? If you haven't, why not? And I'll repeat the question of the poll. What is the best scale length for a baritone guitar? Really looking to hearing your thoughts on this one. Cardi Danger asks, what's your go-to for karaoke? Truly, Madly, Deeply, Savage Garden. Close runner-up is I Want It That Way. Bruh, that key change. But yeah, 90s pop hits all the way. I want to know what yours is though. Let me know down below. Speaking of something that has absolutely nothing to do with 90s pop hits or anything, really. The sponsor of today's video, the Ridge. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm too exhausted to even come up with a decent segue. This is the one that we have and we're running with it. So let's take a quick second to thank today's sponsor, Ridge. And they're not just an amazing long-term supporter of the channel that helps me make content for the internet, but I actually use their product every day. And that's because Ridge is redefining the wallet with minimalism in mind. The designs are sleek, small form factor that can fit into your front pocket. The plates made of aluminum, titanium, or carbon fiber are RFID blocking to block scammers from stealing your information, and they're held together by a durable elastic band. The quality is excellent, and to back it up, each wallet comes with a lifetime guarantee. Something like this is a serious modern day upgrade over a traditional bulky wallet. And Ridge isn't just streamlining wallets. They're now tackling out-of-hand keychains with their new key case. The expanding tension plate design is sleek, lightweight, and essentially turns your keychain into a Swiss Army knife for keys. That's awesome. There are loads of colors and styles to choose from, and they're always adding more. My new favorites are the Forged Ember and Forged Pacific carbon fiber models, and this is still Pringle's favorite. So if you want to see why so many people are making the smart choice and switching over to Ridge, heading over to ridge.com/Agufish. And for you guys, if you use the code Agufish, you'll get 10% off your order and free shipping. That's ridge.com/Agufish, code Agufish, get 10% off. And of course, clicking the link helps support the channel by letting them know that I sent you. And while you're doing that, let's jump into your next question. Gibson Dave Mustaine acoustic signature. Thoughts? Oh god, it has not been a good time for Gibson Dave Mustaine guitars on YouTube. Did you see the video that Glenn made of the Gibson Dave Mustaine Flying V he got? What was up with the paint cracks on that one? How did that even happen on a $2,800 guitar? But it's not all bad news for the Mustaine collection this week. His signature acoustic Songwriter is out, except wait, it is bad news. I guess because it's from the custom shop, not Gibson USA. It is a freaking $4,500 guitar, at least the unsigned version. There's also a signed version for $500 more, limited to 100 pieces worldwide. But why? This is baffling to me. How has this not launched as an Epiphone? With these skull graphics and blacked out color, this would kill in the angsty teenager Machine Gun Kelly listening market, even if they have no idea who Dave Mustaine or Megadeth are. And in fairness, the specs are pretty cool. It's Gibson's first 24-fret acoustic, slightly thinner walnut body with the single cutaway, mahogany neck, ebony fingerboard, Grover tuners, tusk nut, Graphtec saddle and bridge pins, and a higher output LR Bags VTC undersaddle pickup, custom hardshell case that features Dave's silhouette. But I think it's kind of telling that this is the first release from a high-profile Gibson artist in a long time that's still in stock on the website a full 2 days after it was launched, right? Like his Flying Vs don't last the first day. The signed version is out of stock though, which I guess I understand. That is a true collector's piece. But man, it's just frustrating. When they announced Dave Mustaine was joining the Gibson roster, I was quite hyped. I'm not the biggest Megadeth fan, but I love Gibson style guitars and I love metal. And they said at the time the new Mustaine collection would encompass models across their entire range. So my reaction was excellent. More metal focused Epiphones that we can afford. And I get that we've been in very trying, unprecedented times thanks to a unspecified virus of unknown origin, but like still a year and a half later, no Epiphones, no Kramers, and most Epiphones are made in Gibson's factory in China, so that makes sense. But so far, a $3,000 Flying V and a $5,000 acoustic, pretty much nothing for the non-super fan. So it's not anyone's fault. I mean, the situation is what it is. But yeah, I mean, this would be cool to try out if it was a $500 Epiphone, see how it feels with the thinner body, 24 frets, higher output pickup. Those are cool little unique things, but at $5,000, I have literally no interest in this. And I pretty much already know what the comments are going to be about this one, but here's where I'll throw it to you anyways. What do you think of Dave Mustaine's acoustic signature? Any and all thoughts? Leave them down below. Echo Mode asks, what is your favorite guitar brand that doesn't make single cuts? Easy. Ernie Ball Music Man. You know, I might not like all the shapes and models. In fact, I only like a couple, but I love the approach and the vibe of the guitars. I mean, let's just cut straight to it. My Stingray RS doesn't get as much playing time as it should for how good it is, purely because I prefer Les Pauls, but it is so good. It is so good. To me, Ernie Ball Music Man, they're pretty much what Leo Fender would have made had he had access to modern day technology. Remember, when he made the Telecaster, solid body electric guitars weren't really a thing. So Leo Fender was repurposing existing technology. Case in point, all those classic colors, Daphne Blue, Seafoam Green, Burgundy Mist, the guitars were painted in those colors and finished with nitro because that's what cars used at the time. He was a legendary pioneer in a new product category, and he very much operated with a use what you got philosophy. Imagine though if he had access to our current day specialized guitar tech. Things like roasted maple necks, spoke wheel truss rod adjustment systems, locking tuners, stainless steel frets, compensated nuts. Oh wait, that's exactly what the Stingray RS is. It's still clearly very traditional Leo Fender inspired, but with all the modern upgrades that make it an incredibly reliable instrument. Plus that oiled neck finish, oh my god, it's so good. And I was talking to Wendell, my luthier, the guy who did the bulk of the restoration of my less than pristine condition 1974 Les Paul Custom. Who are we kidding? He did all the heavy lifting on that project. I only provided the deceased husk. But anyways, we were talking about which American companies make currently the best modern Les Paul and the best modern Strat, and I love them, but it's not Gibson and it's not Fender. Gibson and Fender, they specialize in the old school stuff. Wendell's conclusion from what he's seen brought into the store for work was that for modern American guitars, PRS makes the best modern Les Paul, and Ernie Ball makes the best modern Strat. And from what I've played, I'm inclined to agree. Ernie Ball Music Man makes incredible guitars. They're immense in both quality and personality, so it's sadly pretty painful they don't make a Les Paul style single cut. Could you imagine a single cut with their figured maple necks, with their stainless steel frets, hand-oiled finish? That would be an incredible guitar. I can't even be mad at them though, because they're just out here doing their own thing with the Mariposa and the St. Vincent, or like the Albert Lee model that's a Strat, but also a pointy Jazzmaster at the same time, or Steve Morse's models. Like, what the fuck is going on with the pickup configuration on either of his current signatures? I love it. Music Man is sometimes just so wacky and out there, it's like, okay, fair enough. You do your thing. I respect it. So yeah, from the current lineup, I'm only really interested in the Stingray RS. Most of their other models, I have little to no serious interest in, but at the same time, I love the company and I love the way they approach guitar design, if that makes sense. It might not. But so anyways, here's where I'll throw it to you. Is there a guitar company you love, even though you're not really interested in many of their models? Curious as to what the comments will be on this one. Bad Dad asks, how are you managing the sound deadening with the little one around? As a fellow father, this is a constant thing I deal with. Hey, congrats on the little one, man. Okay, so my current situation, I don't know if Frida Sophia is gonna grow out of this or not. I pray no. But right now, she loves loud, angry noises. Thank God, confirmed she is my daughter. But straight up, she will fall asleep to any sort of music. It's almost like the angrier, the better. Like, I'm telling you, she will be wide awake and she will fall asleep to Carcosa, their deathcore. And this happens consistently. Low-key, I am so scared for how heavy her generation's music will be if she's falling asleep to this. But also what helps with the noise, we live in a townhome. My office/home studio is on the bottom floor and then her nursery's upstairs. Also, I record directly into the computer. It's more consistent with good impulse responses. It sounds practically identical to a mic'd cab without actually having to mic a cab. And I can turn the volume down too if necessary. I can even work completely silently with these big tube heads using earphones. But when I'm working with the door closed and I'm playing music or even using the cab attenuated, the sound doesn't really travel to the rest of the house, especially with the sound treatment in here kind of deadening everything so you don't have sound waves just bouncing around everywhere. So here's what I'd say. Option 1, just record directly into the computer. There's some really high quality impulse responses out there. Plugins have gotten really natural sounding, especially if you're using something like Neural DSP. And again, you can even use headphones, so it's completely silent. Option 2, if you absolutely must use a cab, and I totally get the appeal of that, get an attenuator. It's like an extra volume knob so you can crank your amp to its sweet spot and you can get most of the fun of your large PP head at whisper quiet volumes. And another thing that helps to know, if you're making noise, most of the sound transfer happens through the door. So adding some mass to the door or a door sweep to seal the bottom will help to a surprising extent, and it's not too expensive, like less than 20 bucks on Amazon. You know, when I was thinking about how to put together my home studio, I was talking to the Sweetwater guys about, well, how do I completely soundproof this room? And they're like, basically, to really do it properly, you have to pad everything, all the walls, the ceiling. And if you want to get extra crazy, you build a room within a room and then you vacuum seal it. That way it's impossible for sound to transfer because there are no air particles. I wish I had bought Bitcoin when my friend told me to do it in 2010, but I did not, and so that was obviously way out of my budget. So no, I was not able to build a room within a room and then vacuum seal it. Maybe one day. But if you're an absolute mad lad and you want complete soundproofing and you've got the budget, do that. And 100% send me pictures because that sounds really cool. Otherwise, door sweep, attenuator, record into the computer. That's what works for me. And if anyone else has some sound deadening hacks for Bad Dad, especially budget-friendly ones, leave them down below. Hey, so keep this one on your radar. Dyson Zone. Dude, this was the weirdest fucking thing on multiple levels. So first of all, the Dyson Zone is just a weird product. So they're earphones, right? Cool. Good so far. 3 levels of active noise canceling. Still good. Dyson is a vacuum company though. Okay, you wear them and then it has this front mouthpiece that's a dual compressor air purifier. You're wearing an air purifier on your face, essentially. Actually, it's allergy season, so that sounds kind of useful, but still, what the fuck? Okay, so does it just power on when it's needed, or is it just constantly blowing air in your face? Or it looks like maybe it's shooting out of your ears, so if you're like in an elevator or on the subway, will it make the people next to you look like they're in an 80s hair metal music video, just fucking hair flying everywhere because they're being blasted by your allergen and pollutant infested exhaust? I just don't understand this weird ass product. Another weird thing, the model for the Dyson Zone. I haven't talked to this girl in years, but we went to high school in Shanghai together. Random as hell and kind of a weird flex to be selected as the model for a product that covers your face. But you know what? Get that bag, Janice. Anyways, all sorts of weird all over the place, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. That's it. And we're now approaching the end of the video, and this has been kind of a long one, but if for some reason you still haven't gotten your fix of me yet, in case you missed it since last episode, I actually haven't uploaded too much. Did a quick little unboxing vlog featuring a Charvel I'm super hyped about, and a Fender I'm pretty hyped about too. FedEx also got their revenge on me for making them deliver so many packages, and Frida Sophia got her first real non-avocado guitar. And of course, if you missed last ASKgufish, we also talked about baritones, my upcoming signature specifically. And we also talked other Harley Benton models I helped work on, including the neck through AMAROK-EXs and the metal-focused EMG-equipped roasted neck fusions with stainless steel frets, which are just actually ridiculously spec'd for 400 bucks. Link to all those in the cards and in the description. So that's the end of the video. Like, subscribe, notifications, you know what to do. You've seen YouTube's before. Shout out to all my amazing patrons who make this and every other video possible by allowing me to bring on video editors. You may also notice the content is more consistent, and we're trying to make the guitar footage extra crispy in 4K. So if you want to join them in directly supporting the channel and get bonus extras, link is down below. Social media, Discord, and affiliate links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I will see you for the next video.